Hey everyone, it's your guy, the Urban Window Farmer. I wanted to give you guys an update on my parents' Martian Tower Garden before I head back to the city. It's been growing for about a month, and I'll highlight a few plants that I have growing here. Here I have 2 rosemary plants. Rosemary is a slow-growing plant, so that size is pretty good for 1 month. Moving down in the tower, I have a ruby red lettuce plant. This plant has good size and coloration. It's ready to harvest. Moving to the top right of the tower, I have this good sized beefsteak tomato plant, which hasn't started to flower yet. Have a look at that. And moving down in the tower, I have a variety of straight leaf mustard green. This plant is ready to harvest. And below that, I have some common green leaf lettuce, which is also ready to harvest. And in a nearby pod, I have this Homestead Tomato plant. And this plant is taking up a lot of space in the tower. As you can see, it's already flowering and we're starting to see some fruit. This is a indeterminate tomato variety, so it will continue to grow if all the conditions are met. So this plant will need to be trimmed and pruned just to make sure it doesn't go too crazy. And at the bottom, near the skirt of the tower, I have a Japanese cucumber plant located at the bottom of the tower, so it has space to snake out. Have a look at the flowers developing and some of the tendrils as well. I'm curious to see how these will turn out because I've never grown Japanese cucumbers in the Martian Tower Garden before. Up near the top of the tower, I have Dwarf red robin tomatoes, and above that I have an Arugula plant. Moving down towards the lower pod, I have a green bell pepper plant, and this plant has already started flowering. As you can see, there is 1 bell pepper developing, and there's a few more on here as well, and you can see there's still some flowers that will later turn into peppers. Here's one in the early stage of turning into a pepper. And then the green bell pepper's next door neighbor is a red oak leaf lettuce plant. And then we have some more wild lettuce here at the bottom. In this pot I have some dill. And then there's some more wild lettuce. Here is a good sized black prince tomato plant. There's some tomatoes already starting to develop on that. Here's another black prince tomato plant, a little bit more mature than the one above. And we have some more wild lettuce. The parents love to eat lettuce. In this pot I have a small thyme plant. And here's another cilantro plant. In this pot I have a small red ghost pepper plant. And above that I have an indigo rose tomato plant. Have another cup full of chives. And then another pot of dill. This is a ruby red leaf lettuce plant. Here I have a shishito pepper plant. This plant has already started to produce peppers, as you can see. in various stages. This one is probably the most mature, and others that are still on the way. Here I have more lettuce. This is a red leaf lettuce plant. And down here I have a black cherry tomato plant. This pot is a little bit mixed up. I have red leaf lettuce and red leaf romaine lettuce. I guess two seeds germinated in the same pod, so that's why it looks all mixed up. And at the bottom here I have a pickling cucumber plant. Next to the pickling cucumber I have another Japanese cucumber plant. And right above that in another pot I have another Japanese cucumber plant. And above that I have a Cherokee tomato plant, which hasn't started to flower yet. And this one's interesting. I found a hydroponic lettuce in the grocery store. We ate most of the leaves off of it and I put it back in the tower, and you can see it started to regrow itself. It's almost ready to harvest again. Here's a very small pepper plant. It's a jalapeno pepper seedling. And then I have another Japanese cucumber plant up at the top here. It's kind of cascading down. As you can see, it's flowering, so it's probably the most mature of all the cucumbers that we have in the tower. Well, that's all the plants that I'm going to highlight in this video. The Martian Tower Garden does wrap around, so there's plants on all sides, but because the railing is right there, it's hard for me to get back on the back side of the tower to show you those plants that are growing. Hope you guys enjoyed the tour of my parents' Martian Tower Garden. Next week, I'll be back in the city and I'll give you guys an update of my towers. Thanks for watching and happy gardening.